Welcome to another episode of the Money Wheel Podcast. The journey to wealth starts here with your host, Don Shade.
Hello, my friend and future millionaire. Welcome to this episode of the Money Wheel. My name is Don Shade. You know, I'm going to ask you kind of an odd question today. How many of you have had days where it just seems like no matter what you do, the world is kicking you? I mean, you don't have a friend in the world no matter what you do. What did that do to your attitude? You know, I'm going to be open and honest here with you. And I'm going to share some stuff I'm going through. I've been struggling with a few things for a little while. Maybe 6 weeks, a month, something along those lines. I was just having some issues with some things, and I was trying to get it sorted out. Well, I went and dealt with another coach, and I took her training. It was 6 different courses. And I honestly have to tell you, at the end of those 6 courses, I was a different person coming out of the other side. When I started her training, I was pretty much upset with the world. And there wasn't anything going my way, and that's just the way it felt. And most of the time when it feels that way, it's not exactly the world ganging up on you, it's just the way you feel. Well, one of the things I learned in that training was this. I started to write, not really a journal every day, but kind of my thoughts. What is the mindset I'm in today? Is it good? Is it bad? Am I upset? Would I be ready to punch Santa Claus in the mouth if he come through the door? And some days you feel like that. And with all that being said, when I started doing this personal journal, it started to make a difference in the way I felt. There's something to writing that stuff down and getting it out in the open. Now, I've experimented with it some. What I do, I try to write it in the morning. And that kind of lays all the thoughts out for the day. That allows me to say, hey, what is it I want to accomplish today? What kind of mindset do I have? Is there something going to happen today that's going to hold me back from what I want to achieve? And this is all things that I look at because everybody has days where life gets in the way. I don't care what you're doing, and some days you just don't feel like going to work for whatever reason. When you sit down and you write this stuff out, it makes a difference in the way you handle your day. The whole exercise has carried me through a lot of things over time. And the reason I'm sharing it with you is because it may be something you want to try. Now, one of the things I'm experimenting with is, do you do this in the morning to set the mood for the day? Do you do it the night before? Maybe it's something that you sit down in the middle of the day and say, hey, here's the kind of day I'm having, and I want to change it from here out. The biggest thing that I've learned is when you're going through all this stuff and you're able to write it out like that and basically see it in pen and paper, so to speak, it allows you to de-stress from a lot of stuff. I just wanted to share this with you because it made such a big difference for me in the last month or so. And this is one of the more personal Money Wheel podcasts that I'll do because of that. Usually I don't share the fact that, I struggle with some things as well. But it got to the point that I felt I needed to go out and deal with a different coach so I could get through it and get back to where I wanted to be able to come in here and coach you how to build your online business and how to create the wealth that you're looking for. And once I went through that exercise and saw the difference that it made over 30 days, I wanted to share it with you so you could do the same thing. That's everything I have for today's episode. We'll see you next time on the Money Wheel.
Thank you for listening to the Money Wheel Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and like the podcast. For everything that was talked about in today's amazing show, go to moneywheelpodcast.com and get today's show notes, past episodes, and most importantly, you can connect with Don Shade on all his social media platforms. Again, at moneywheelpodcast.com. If you are just looking to email Don, you can email him at don@moneywheelpodcast.com. For a list of all our tools we use in our business, you can go to moneywheelpodcast.com/resources. Again, thank you for listening to today's podcast, and see you in our next episode of the Money Wheel Podcast.